Lynn and I were trying to do math.
Hey, I came up with an answer quicker than you did.
Well, according to my app, visibility is what?
It's either your app or your phone or whatever. There's just no brain cells going on.
Well, what I'm wondering is how the app gets it this precise. It says 722 yards.
Okay.
Not 700 yards, not 800 yards, not 700.
I'm surprised it doesn't have a .2 on it or some bizarre thing.
722 yards.
Okay.
Is what it says. So yards is feet, 3 feet to a yard, right?
Yes.
So if I take 722 times 3, then that's 2,166 feet. Would that
well,
be
I got a
correct?
newsflash. If you're out there driving, visibility is about 2.5 blocks. So.
Well, how many yards
fog.
is that?
I said, well, it depends on how long your yards are. I mean, how many feet
the
length of your block is, because some towns are not quite the same.
That's right. That's right.
It used to be like 142 feet from the curb to the middle of the alley. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is here. I've actually never gone out with a tape and measured.
Yep.
So you could have, I don't know how long the blocks are, because a lot, in theory, used to be 25 feet. So you had at least 50 feet for your house. That was your property.
Yeah.
So if you have 4 houses, that's 200 feet for the length of the block.
We have some oddball measurements that we've kind of carried from the past. For example, an acre.
Is still an acre.
Yeah, but how big is an acre?
Well, you got to get out there and,
And why is the acre, why is it that?
Because somebody
dimension?
had to come up with a figure years ago to be able to measure and determine, the same thing as a mile.
Uh-huh. Yeah, where'd that come from?
5,280 linear feet in a mile.
Why that? Why that for a mile? Why not just 5,000 feet? Anyway, we have all these odd things.
You're getting a little deep for this hour of the morning.
Yeah, horsepower.
Yeah, who knew?
We measure the power of a motorized vehicle in horsepower. But there aren't any horses involved. This is the thing that replaced the horses.
Yes. And was it called that when Henry Ford first developed the first one? Was it called horsepower then?
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd have to go back and really... Somewhere, I'm sure that if you plugged it in and asked Siri where the phrase came from, she could come up with a halfway... I mean, we don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but she'd come up with some sort of an answer.
Yeah. So I asked Google Home this morning, can you send a text? And Google said, no, I'm not able to do that at this time. And so then I asked it, well, what good are you?
Spying on your every move and reporting to the government. Other than that, not much.
And
really.
he said, I'm here to...
How do you know it's a he?
Because it's a male voice.
Oh.
And so he says, I'm here to assist you in any way that I can.
Right. But I do have limitations.
and he says, what can I do for you now? And I said, can you send a text?
Did you not hear me the first time?
Now, here's the weird thing. I then asked it...
Beyond this conversation?
Yes. Then I had another conversation. Every so often I do that with these voice assistants just to see how far...
You're going to mess with their
the
minds,
artificial
right?
intelligence has come. Because they improve it, all the time.
Constantly, right.
And so then I said, let's go, Brandon.
Oh, my goodness sakes.
Just to see what Google Home would say.
Right.
And this is the creepy part. So the assistant comes back and says, I have found 5 stories about the phrase, let's go, Brandon.
Uh-huh.
The first story is from Fox News. Would you like to listen? Now, why would Google Home even know or think that the first source for a story about Let's Go Brandon that I would like to listen to would be from Fox News and not CNN or the New York Times or the Atlantic or one of these other publications?
Fox was the first one that had it out.
That's a possibility.
Had the first one to hit the air with it, as opposed to, CNN could have been second and on down the line.
Yeah.
So maybe, they just go from the top news story on down or something.
That's an interesting question. But if a liberal or a progressive asked Google Home about Let's Go Brandon, would the first news story to the liberal or the progressive be from
Google
Fox
Home
News?
Knows what you are?
I think it does.
Okay.
I think it does. I think because remember, Google Home is tied in with Google.
Yeah.
Google owns YouTube. I spend a lot of time on
so
YouTube.
It's researching and making an algorithm of the things that you look up all the time and that you watch all the time, and now, therefore,
yes,
it assumes
yes,
that you are...
That I would rather hear about Let's Go Brandon from Fox News as opposed to CNN, because I watch a lot of Tucker Carlson clips and Greg Gutfeld clips, not much anything else from Fox News, but those are the...
Well, this goes right back to vaccinations. If you think there's a tracker in the vaccination, you are a moron. Because
I don't think I said that.
No, I'm not saying. I said the logic in all of this.
Yes.
Because we're talking... Google Home now knows what you are because of what you look up. So if you think you're not being tracked, or people in general are not being tracked by what they research, and if you don't think the ads are tailored that keep popping up on you when you try to watch a little blurb or a little video or a new news clip, and you notice all these stupid ads that are all over it, that are stuff that you might be interested in.
Yeah.
Because they are tailored for you, depending on what you buy, what you have looked up.
That's
what
right.
you have, so
no question.
Talk about being tracked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now part of the way I get around that is we actually pay for a
ad blocker.
No.
Oh.
I have an ad blocker. Yes, but as far as YouTube is concerned, we pay for it's one of the few subscriptions that I have, because I do watch a lot of content on YouTube. So I pay for the YouTube Premium. So I don't get the ads. Because that really was quite irritating, depending on who I was watching videos from. Every 30 seconds, I'd have to watch 2 minutes of ads. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. And so I inserted my credit card information, and now so I don't see the ads.
Right.
It's the same thing. I'll go to an event and they'll be playing music before a ball game. And then it will stop and the ads will come on. And I'm like, dude, you can get an Apple Music account. It's a subscription, so you're going to pay for it on a monthly basis. You will never hear any advertising in your playlists, in your streamed radio stations, whatever it is that you want to do from Apple Music. And so I'm just surprised that more people don't do that. But then again, look at all the things that people subscribe to now.
Yeah.
It used to be, I hate cable because I'm paying for all these channels that I don't watch. I wish they had a la carte or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So everybody cancels their cable. They go with streaming. Now, think about what you're paying for your streaming subscriptions. Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Peacock, Paramount Plus, HBO Max, YouTube Premium.
Well, guess what?
Apple Music.
I don't subscribe to any of them.
Right. Well, but you're paying for something from somebody.
Well, I just have satellite, and that's my limit.
You're paying for it.
Yeah, but I don't have all those other... I don't get all those other channels because I'm not going to pay for... SEAL Team is moving to Paramount. They actually had a decent show the other night where Jason was not whining. God, I hate it when he whines. Yeah, they just started a whole bunch of new plots. The next show is not going to be on CBS. It's moving.
Yeah.
Whatever. They'll fill it in with something. I don't care.
Well,
I can read a book.
I have a Paramount Plus subscription. I was able to find a deal on a initial subscription thing, and I think I only paid $50 for the year. Now, when that comes up for renewal, I'll have to see if they have any special offers or if I want to renew it. But I don't watch any of the CBS content. I watch Perry Mason.
The old ones.
Yeah, not the ones on HBO. But
those are good. The old black and white.
Yes. I watched one last night that I had not seen before that had an interesting twist and all that kind of stuff.
That's when shows 64. Were really good. Yeah, really good.
But people pay that now, and then so they're paying a lot for these subscriptions to just get the channels that they want to watch. I mean, I just have the YouTube Premium, You can step it up a notch and get live TV programming through YouTube. You can pay more to HBO or to Hulu. Mm-hmm. You can get the Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN pack, and now you're watching Disney Plus and you're watching Hulu and you've got access to some ESPN content because that's all part of the ABC Disney universe. And so, has anybody ever sat down and said, I hate cable, I hate satellite, I'm not paying for that because I don't want to get all that extra stuff? Have you actually sat down and added up
what you're paying on
all of these subscriptions?
Stuff?
Yeah. I think people would be shocked.
Could be a big surprise.
Yeah. But Lon and I said,
I'm not paying for any more than what I've already got.
Yeah.
Because it just irritates me anyhow to pay what I do.
Yeah.
And I have the basic, the smallest there is.
Well, and we have that for Eunice because Eunice is old school. She likes to have the remote. She likes to have the grid. Piece of paper. Here's the channels I watch. This one's on 263. This one's on blah, blah, blah. And I was freaking her out the other day. We went over to her house for her birthday, and we hooked up the Apple TV, and I pulled up an episode of Perry Mason or Columbo or something like that. MASH, that's what it was. I pulled up MASH off of Hulu, and she comes in and sees that it's on the TV. Oh, they've put MASH back on. No. Well, who has MASH now? I said, well, it's on the internet, Well, what time does it come on?
Whenever
I want it to come on. And so if you're not used to that or you haven't adapted that, it's mind-boggling to think that there's another one that is kind of cool, and this one is kind of a hybrid between the two, and it's called Pluto TV. Doesn't cost anything, so it's ad-supported, but it's a grid, so they have channels, but they're channels based on different themes or... for example, they have a 007 channel.
Oh.
And they play all the different James Bond movies.
Well,
now
the only ones that are really good are when Sean Connery was in it. And there has been no other good Bond after him.
But they're all there, and it's on a grid, and so you can see what time the different movies come on. And so if you're used to gridded TV at scheduled time, get your smart TV or your Apple TV or your Roku and get Pluto TV. They've got a whole bunch of Christmas movie channels now.
Oh, my.
They've got 3 different Yule log channels.
When do you have time to do all of this?
Well, I just kind of scan through and see what's up there.
I mean, watch all of the television and YouTubes and
Between
everything else.
7 and 11 at night.
Okay.
That's about the only time I get up in the morning and I scan through the YouTubes and I'll watch a Greg Gutfeld clip from the night before or a Tucker Carlson if I want to get angry. And then in the evenings I'll get back after everything's all done and settled and the ball games are all taken care of and the radio stations are back to programming and Lana goes to bed. I'll pull up and I'll watch an episode of Perry Mason or Columbo or something like that. But I was scanning through Pluto TV because they've got the James Bond channel. But so for somebody that is used to grid TV but wants to start dabbling in the streaming, Pluto TV, check that out. And then they've got a puppies channel for Christmas.
Oh.
If you need to put a crackling fireplace on the screen for your thing, the Pluto TV has one for the holidays. So if you can't get the Hallmark channel and you want to watch some of these sappy Christmas movies,
I wish that even satellite or cable as well would let you customize your own.
Well, that's what all these streaming services are.
No, if all I want is ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, HGTV, and a couple of others where they have food competitions or something, that's all I need or want. Maybe Lifetime, History, National Geographic, because those are rare that I watch because I don't have time. And even if I'm home on the weekends, the television is not on. I've got things to do.
Right.
So that's all I need. I don't need the shopping. I don't need the sports. I don't need all the church channels. I don't, bukus of stuff that I don't need. But yet I'm paying for.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Well, that's another thing. The TV at our house usually only goes on when we've got a event that we're streaming. And so like the other night I pulled up the NMMI Bronco men's basketball game and I was watching it on my big screen TV in high definition, you know, and it hit the button and it comes on and it kind of buffers up and boom, there it is, just plain as day, filling up that whole screen. And and of course we do that with our sports as well. But it is it's an ever evolving, changing world, and it really over the last 2 or 3 years has evolved into this online service.
Well, I saw
thing.
something yesterday on television. It unrolls, and then you can roll it back down and put it down in its case, and you don't have to look at it.
Yes.
And then when you get it, you pull it up and unroll it, and there it is. You know, it used to take 6 people to bring the television in the house because it weighed, enough for a forklift.
Yeah.
Now, you just
The last TV we bought
with a little bag in your handle and poof.
Yeah. The last TV we bought, Lon
amazing.
and I, carried it into the house. I took it out of the box. I picked it up and set it up on top of the table.
Yeah, you may need 2 people now just for the awkward factor.
Exactly.
But weight?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's totally amazing.
It is. We need to break for the news. But
I'm sure there's something going on that we need to know. Or maybe not. It depends on how bad it's going to tick us all off.
That's right. That's right. Or as I like to say, thanks to Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida, let's see what the latest is from the Brandon administration.
Oh.
So we'll be back.